Warning, this video will contain spoilers of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1. Hey guys, yo, what's up? My name's Seb and welcome to Jump Inside Games. Today we're going to be doing a series review on the channel, and the series is going to be Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1. Now, we're going to be doing this video in two parts. The first part is going to be a bit of a breakdown over the first episode, so if you haven't seen it, just a quick spoiler warning, and the second part is going to be a review and seeing what my thoughts are on this series is as a whole and what I think about it. So without no further ado, let's get into it. So, at the beginning of Cobra Kai in Season 6, basically, we have everyone getting along with each other. Well, nearly everyone. Also, all the students are now training for the tournament that's going to be held somewhere called the Sakai Taikai. We also learn that John Kreese and Terry Silver have made the newspaper for the martial arts mayhem karate scandal. Moving on a little bit, we learn that all the students are now getting along with each other, apart from Kenny, who we'll get to later. The Cobra Kai dojo inside the valley has been trashed, and Miguel and Robbie are getting along with each other as of last season. And that's where this episode takes place, right at the beginning. They're inside the back of Johnny Lawrence's car and they're going towards Miyagi-Do. However, before they get there, they stop at Johnny's dojo, which is Eagle Fang Karate. However, they find out that the building has been demolished, which leads to everybody now has to train at Miyagi-Do Karate. And with everyone working together under the same name, apart from Kenny, who we'll get to later, under three senseis, they all work together to come up with a name to unite the dojos. The dojo name that they came up with was Miyagi Fang Karate. However, Chosen and Daniel didn't like the new name or logo because they thought it disrespected Miyagi. This leads into a fight between Johnny and Chosen because Chosen wants to keep the Miyagi Dojo name. However, Johnny Lawrence wants to change it to Miyagi Fang Karate because it represents his style of karate within the dojo. Later that evening, Miguel and Samantha go on a date with Robbie and Tori in a way to strengthen the relationship between Tori and Samantha, who aren't quite fully getting along just yet in the story. Robbie also notices that Kenny is also down here and tries to convince him to join Miyagi-Do. Kenny's brother is also there to back Kenny up, and Kenny says he doesn't want to, so Kenny and his brother walk away and they leave the area. Johnny gets a text from a random unknown person on his phone that says Cobra Kai never dies. He wonders who it is, and they ask him to meet him at Coyote Creek. Only to be surprised it's by one of his own students who is just trying to teach karate to some younger people. They have a quick chat about legacy and then they move on. Robbie really wants to help out Kenny, so much so that he goes down and he meets him at the batting cage. Now, he does this because he's aware that Kenny is angry, and he's angry at the karate, and he's afraid of what it could lead into for him, so he wants to help him out. Now, Kenny's brother is there, and Robbie and his brother get into a fight because Robbie really wants to help out Kenny, and his brother doesn't really want Robbie getting involved in anything. Now, Miguel, Sam, and Tori are also in the area to back Robbie up, so they also join in on this fight. However, all the students of Miyagi-Do don't actually go on the offense, they all do defense. So even after the fight, after Kenny and his brother leave the area, his brother actually talks to him and thinks that maybe with all the anger building up inside of him, that Miyagi-Do might not be such a bad choice, and convinces him maybe he should try it out. Going back to the three senseis, they also have a chat about the name of the dojo. Now, after Johnny Lawrence had a chat with his old student about legacy and all that conversation that went on, Johnny actually now is convinced that maybe his Eagle Fang style of karate is just an echo of Kreese and he wants to forget it, so he wants to make sure the legacy of Miyagi-Do is the one that's remembered. So they all choose the name and decide that Miyagi-Do should be the name of the dojo, and that should be the name that takes them forward towards the tournament. and Kenny eventually does join the dojo at the end of the episode. So there you go. Everybody is now fighting on the same team with the name of Miyagi-Do. However, one thing has changed. The Miyagi-Do logo now has an eagle above the tree, which represents Johnny's style of karate. And that's where the episode ends. There is a little bit more, but I'm not going to go into it, so that's where I'm going to call it. Back to you, Seb, in the studio. All right, so now that you're back here, then let's have a talk about what I think about it. And to be honest with you, I just get the feeling that there's a rivalry in this. There's a lot of rivalry. There's a lot of things to work out. And yeah, even though that people are getting along with each other, there's still that bit of rivalry that needs to be cleared off. And you know what? I think this is perfect. It just gives a bit of tension, and just a little bit of rivalry is perfect, because we know most of it is sorted out, but there's that little bits here and there that just still need to be, you know, worked out, and to, you know, to talk about, see what's happening. And you know, and there's tension, there's a little tension, and there's a little rivalry, and this could all explode into whatever part 2 and part 3 are. And you know what, I'm really excited about this thing as a whole. I can't wait for this to play out. This is generally one of my favorite series, and you know, and there's multiple storylines going along. There's a storyline between Sam and Tori. There's a storyline between Miguel and Robbie. There's a story between Daniel, Chosen, and Johnny, and you know, and you just got all these storylines playing out. And then there's a Cobra Kai storyline that's slowly playing somewhere in this, but it's not out there just yet. It's just hidden. It's behind curtains. So it's you know, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of little stories going along, and to see them when they cross paths and to resolve and have a resolution. Oh, I can't wait to see what this series brings as a whole. I can't really give this a formal judge because I haven't seen part 1, part 2, and part 3 because they're not out. But if I have to give part 1 a rating of a score, I'd say I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, there was one episode which I think just lacked just a little bit compared to other episodes, because I think it was just a bit slower pace than the rest of the episodes as a whole. Other than that, though, I think that this part 1 of season 6, I think it was excellent. I think all these episodes were brilliant, and you know what? I think it's a clear 8 out of 10, and I think the final parts of this will be 9s and 10s out of 10 without a doubt. So there you go. That's from me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.